everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jocelyn Lovely. So good to see you guys here today. This reading is for my beautiful Sagittarius. If you guys enjoy the reading, resonate with it, like, share, and subscribe. If you want a personal reading, email me at jocelynlovely84@gmail. And to donate, I love y'all. Donate, you can click on the link below. All right, so this reading was, I loved it. It was straightforward here. Source was not playing with you. Source made sure that there were a whole bunch of lessons that took place. Like this huge tower moment took place, and it literally was so bad. This last tower was so bad. You literally had no choice but to learn the lessons you were supposed to right then and there, right? You know how it gets, like it makes everything so uncomfortable, every area of your life. That's how you know you have to learn a lesson within that time frame, because every area of your life is affected, and it's so unbearable. It's like you're being squeezed in and you can't deal with this pain anymore. It's either you stay in that pain or you are like, no, fuck it, I learned my lesson, I surrender, let's move forward, right? And so yeah, like again, this is the spirit, the realms congratulating you for all the hard work you've earned, all of the lessons you've learned. This was pivotal. This was very important. This was part of your soul contract, right? We get here a death, a transformation that took place. And the lesson that you learned here was self-love. Self-love. I know there's two people there, but it's really you and you. This is you and your shadows becoming one. Again, right? It must have felt like a part of you lost. You probably felt like you were dead too, because you see how this person has this like inner child with it that's dead. It just seems to me like all these facets of you were not being utilized, and maybe that's why they were stuck. They were at a standstill. They didn't feel like they were helping you in life, because if these parts aren't activated, it's really like an unstable relationship within yourself, right? And then here I get like, I feel like the lessons, the reason why you had to learn to love yourself is because, again, you had a lot of characters in your life that kept taking. It just seems to me like there was this fear of if I didn't give, these people would not like me. That's what it seemed like to me. It was like you were compromising yourself, your integrity, to make these people happy. And these people couldn't give two shits about you. All these people care about is me, 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 me. And I think this whole time there was, and even then, what I'm getting mostly here is like, it's like your shadows. I'm getting your shadows. Your shadow here was watching this happen in the background, while these people, right, were just taking from you. These people were talking shit. They were like mad. They were hungry. It felt like these people, first of all, they're assholes, because these people are entitled. The people you were messing around with expected you to give them. That you wouldn't eat first, they had to eat first. And then after they were done eating, they weren't gonna give you anything as a leftover. They took it to go. This is the type of people I'm talking about that you were connecting with. These are heartless ass people. People that wouldn't give two shits about you. They only put themselves first. And I think that's what was causing this issue. This is why, you know, you were having sleepless nights. This is the Nine of Swords. Like you were literally so frustrated with yourself, and you didn't even know why, right? It's like I said, because you were focused on everybody else but yourself, there's inner struggle, inner battle with yourself. And it's mostly because your shadows were pissed, right? Again, this is all about giving to yourself first, right? This is something you're taught as a kid. Like your needs have to come first, and your parents are supposed to give that to you. Because they didn't do that for you, you know, you gave you spend your whole life giving, right? Maybe your mom or your dad expected that from you. If you ever told your parents no, this is like trauma. So that means somebody like beat you, or you got beaten, or you got grounded every single time you try to say no and stand up for yourself, to the point where like maybe you just had to learn to say yes, right? This is deep subconscious programming that if these people don't like me, if I say no to them, they're gonna reject me. They're not gonna want me, right? It's all about self-worth here. And you just literally came out of that. You came out of that. This is a huge thing. These are real internal programming that happens in your mind. And you finally were so fed up. And I feel like this happens every time. This is a lesson you've been experiencing your whole life, okay? This is instilled since childhood. It's like no wonder a lot of the relationships you ended up leaving caused like, it was always on bad terms, right? And you would always say, well, why? Like you were always so loving and giving, and got to the point where you guys ended up fighting, or something ended up bad. And it was because you got fed up, and it was your shadows. I think your shadows had a lot to play with. Like everybody knows that if they messed with you the wrong way, they had to learn the hard way that your shadows were not going to put up with that. And yeah, you can technically say that maybe you blew up on people and it was technically your fault, but really you didn't even know why, right? This is you finally understanding that you were blowing up because your shadows were pissed that you kept choosing everybody else but yourself. And now that you finally get that, it's like, well, now, oh, that's why I was causing self-destruction here and there with these people and burning bridges. Well, because my shadows were trying to tell me, stop giving to this person. This person isn't worthy of your love. This person, you're putting this person above me. What the, right? Like, and again, it was like you choosing people that were deliberately hurting you. And so your shadows are not going to put up with that. They're going to fight you. They'll be like, we don't even like this dude. They've been trying to tell you they don't fuck with this person you were fucking with. Your own shadows were telling you, I don't want you hanging out with this person. And you had to learn the hard way. You know how I know you learned the hard way? Because the tower came in. Boy, that tower comes in every single time. This is, again, this lesson has been coming up again and again and again and again, and you finally got it. Trust me, it's better that you learned this lesson now than you didn't. That if you would have waited till later. Because if these people took from you now, imagine what they would take from you if you even had even more abundance, right? There's no way. There's no way Source could have given you that abundance. No fucking way. Because they knew that they knew that you wouldn't have known your self-worth, your self-respect. So then why would Source give everybody else abundance when these people didn't earn it, right? You may have earned it, but you're giving it to the wrong people, right? The whole point of Source giving you abundance is so that you can heal yourself, right? And it was like, dude, you couldn't even leave a scrap for yourself. You were giving everything to everybody else. No wonder your shadows were always fighting you. No wonder you always had sleepless nights. It was that bad. It was that bad. It felt to me like people knew that they can get away with disrespecting you that way. And they did. Until you would lash off and blow up at them, and they'll be like, oh my God, what did I do? Then they'd come up with that bullshit ass thing. Oh, this person, she was so nice and then she turned on me, right? It's always that victimization bullshit, right? But you know what? I can't even blame them 100% for them thinking like that, because you kept giving and giving and giving and giving. And then when you finally stood up for yourself and you said no, it was like, well, dude, you done fucking gave them the whole world. They're not going to understand when you tell them no. They're just not going to understand it. And why do you think it was just easier for you to say, I'm cutting you off? Why do you think it was easier for you to burn these bridges? Because you were like, nah. At the end of the day, it wasn't even you doing it. It was your shadows taking over. They're like, I'm done. They would say, I'm not doing this anymore. You would get fed up, and then you'd burn these bridges. And that's why you did it, so that you can have some type of peace of mind, so that you can have some type of anything for yourself. Yeah, and you know what? These people, I'm not saying they didn't deserve it. They probably did deserve you lashing out on them. But at the same time, I feel like this is where you're finally needing to take accountability, or maybe you have. You accept that maybe you lashing out was a coping mechanism so that you wouldn't have to give people That was your way of saying no because you couldn't say no. I don't know if that made any sense. I hope it did. So yeah, going from there on, right? You see this person just looking at all her past and just knowing like, okay, I understand. This time I'm gonna take all the resources that I've gained from source and from all my hard-earned work, and I'm gonna put it and give it to myself first. Right? Because, and again, you were always praying, you were always asking source, like, why does this keep happening? Why do I always, end up leaving a job last minute like that and end everything on bad terms with everybody, right? Well, you got your answer. Now you know why. I know it's hard for you to say no now, but I feel like you're learning boundaries. And now you're not so quick to hang out with people that don't reflect that, right? Because before you used to attract people that were just takers, right? And now you're like, I'm not attracting that anymore. Not into my surroundings, right? Because this is you, again, taking everything and giving it to yourself now. This is the King of Cups, a stable person, allowing source to give him everything to be energized and to move forward. Right? And again, you got the king and the queen. These people are this is a perfect balanced emotional relationship that you have with yourself. Yeah, look at all these people, man. These people were just like waiting to take, waiting. They saw you and they were like, man, this is a cash cow right here. Let me just take. Nah. Those people, I'm so glad you kicked those people out of your life. They are not good for you. They're trash. These people are straight up trash. Yep, look at you. It's not even your fault. Look how beautiful this person is. This is an empress. All she does is give and give and give and give and give. It's your loving nature, but I feel like you finally, with the King of Swords, it's like now you're approaching this with more regards of what's best for you. It's like you finally learn self-respect. And I don't mean to say it in a bad way, right? But it's like sometimes this lesson has to take place. There's people whose lessons are to learn to give a little more, to learn to be more loving and giving, right? But yours is the opposite. It's like learning to not give so much because these people will take from you. Look at you. Finally understanding everything. You come first. And that's why your shadows don't have to come out. Ready to fight people, right? Because it's like, my shadows get everything first. I feel like you're also healing from things like if you were in a bad relationship with people who were like, who made you jealous, who made you insecure, like those are the people that you kept attracting, and you kept wondering, well, why are these people always trying to make me jealous? Why are these people always doing this or that? And I remember, I feel like there's this energy of you asking yourself, why do I let these people bother me? Why do my insecure, like, I feel like you have this fear that you're gonna be, your shadows are gonna ruin relationships for you because of the bad situations you went with other people. Like the bad things that happened to you in other relationships are what your shadows remember, right? Because you've been traumatized and disrespected so many times, your shadows are like at an all-time high, right? But I don't want you to worry. What I'm trying to say is I want you to understand that your shadows don't give a fuck about anybody else but you, right? So what they're gonna do is when they lash out and act out, or when they remember when somebody hurt them, or if they're activated when somebody hurt them, what they're really trying to say is that nobody else could give them what they need. And what they need is your self-reassurance. They need you to be like, okay, this person hurt me. Well, screw them. I'm choosing myself. This person's trying to make me jealous. Well, you know what? I don't need to be around somebody who's playing games. I'm walking away. So now your shadows, again, they don't need to lash out. They don't need to act out because they feel heard. They heard you when they said, this person's hurting us. We need to walk, right? And so what you did, it was make a conscious decision to trust all parts of yourself that are speaking up, and you're walking in union with that, with them, right? Because nobody can make you feel secure. It's nobody's job to. There are people who are going to enhance that and enhance your peace of mind, enhance your security. But what I'm saying is they can only enhance it. The only one that can give yourself security is yourself, right? And by you telling your shadows, it's always going to be us first. And if somebody tries to disrespect us, I'm walking, that's a great boundary to have, right? Because now you're telling your shadows that you're choosing them first. And that's all your shadows ever wanted. That's all you ever really wanted was yourself. And you finally got that, right? So congratulations. You're using this cup, right? This opportunity and this emotional opportunity, and you're giving it to yourself, right? It's like it's the Ace of Cups with the Ace of Swords, right? This is perfect union, right? Your heart and your mind are finally at one. They're at peace. They're in play here. You finally got it. You finally got the lesson. And it was a hard lesson because, like, look at this. This is like your subconscious programming. You're peering in. You faced whatever that pain was, that fear was, whatever that programming was, and now you're changing it. You're rewriting that programming, you know. And again, this is stemming from you. Man, you probably got beaten with a broom or something if you said no, right? Whoever raised you, they beat you, because this is trauma, right? This is trauma that was written, that made you feel like if you said no, then you would get hurt. But you're healing that. You're healing that. You're facing it. You're facing all the things that scare you about yourself, and you're finally becoming one and at peace with those parts of yourself. So congratulations. That's great work, Sagittarius. I'm very proud of you. It's really hard. It's not an easy thing to admit to. So, you know, you're doing great. And that's why, like I said, Source is congratulating you for learning that really hard lesson. I don't think you had a choice at this point, man. This lesson was really bad. It got to the point where you just had to learn it now. So, all right. That's all I have for you, Sagittarius. Take good care of yourself. Bye.